You know what's funny? Most people think being mentally strong means never crying, never complaining, and basically turning into a robot. But here's the truth. Mental strength isn't about how much pain you can take, it's about what you refuse to waste your energy on. And the scary part? A lot of us are secretly doing things every single day that drain our mental strength without even realizing it. It's like leaving your phone on 5% battery and then wondering why it keeps dying. So in this video, I'm gonna break down 5 things mentally strong people absolutely refuse to do. And trust me, if you recognize even one of these in yourself, cutting it out will make your brain feel lighter, calmer, and sharper than it's been in years. Quick warning though, one of these 5 is something almost everyone is guilty of, and it's probably stealing more of your happiness than anything else. Stick around until number 3, because that one hits hard. Alright, let's get into it. Here's the first thing mentally strong people never do. They don't play the victim. Now, let's be real. We've all been there. Something bad happens and the first thought is, why does this always happen to me? You fail a test, get ghosted, or your boss treats you unfairly. Boom. Instant Netflix drama in your head. The world is against me. But here's the problem. When you step into that victim role, you also hand over all your power. Psychologists actually call this learned helplessness. It's when your brain starts believing that no matter what you do, nothing will change. And once you're stuck in that loop, your motivation tanks, your confidence shrinks, and life starts feeling heavier than it really is. Mentally strong people flip that script. Instead of thinking, why me, they ask, what now? They don't waste time blaming the universe. They focus on the one thing they can always control, their response. And here's the kicker. Studies on resilience show that people who take responsibility, even in situations that aren't their fault, bounce back faster and perform better long-term. It doesn't mean they like what happened, it just means they refuse to give the situation more power than it deserves. Think of it like this. Playing the victim is like carrying around a 50-pound backpack of excuses. Every step feels harder, not because the path is worse, but because you chose to carry the weight. Mentally strong people drop that backpack. So the next time life hits you with something unfair, ask yourself, am I carrying this or am I changing this? That's the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. The second thing mentally strong people never do is waste energy on what they can't control. And this one is a game changer because honestly, most of us leak energy like a cracked phone battery. You stress about traffic, the weather, what your classmates think of your presentation, or whether your boss woke up on the wrong side of the bed. None of those things are in your control, yet they eat up your mental bandwidth. Psychologists call this the circle of control principle. Inside the circle are the things you can influence, your effort, your habits, your words. Outside the circle, pretty much everything else. And here's the catch. The more you focus outside that circle, the smaller your sense of control feels, and the more anxious you become. Mentally strong people flip that. Instead of burning fuel on things they can't change, they redirect that energy to what they can. Can't control the traffic? Fine, they use the time to listen to an audiobook or rehearse ideas in their head. Can't control whether it rains? They control carrying an umbrella. Can't control someone's opinion? They control how much weight they give it. Research in stress psychology shows that this shift massively reduces burnout. Why? Because your brain stops chasing unsolvable problems and starts focusing on winnable battles. Think of it like pouring water into buckets. You only get so much water each day, so are you pouring it into leaky, bottomless buckets, or the ones that actually fill up and make a difference? Here's the bottom line. If it's outside your control, let it go. If it's inside your control, double down. That's how mentally strong people conserve energy for the stuff that actually moves their life forward. The third thing mentally strong people refuse to do is chase everyone's approval. And let's be real, this one hits hard because we live in a world where one post, one grade, or one outfit can feel like it defines you. You check the likes, replay the conversation in your head, wonder if you sounded stupid, and before you know it, you're living your life on somebody else's scoreboard. Here's the truth. Approval is a moving target. No matter what you do, someone will think you're wrong, weird, or not enough. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. We think people are watching and judging us way more than they actually are. But most of the time, they're too busy worrying about themselves. Mentally strong people understand this. They don't waste years polishing an image to impress everyone. Instead, they choose a compass over a scoreboard. A compass is your values, your goals, your own definition of success. The scoreboard is likes, followers, or random compliments that vanish tomorrow. Think about it. Some of the greatest innovators, athletes, or leaders were constantly doubted. If they chased approval, we'd never have half the progress we do today. They didn't need everyone's applause, they needed clarity about their path. And here's the practical shift. Whenever you feel yourself obsessing over what people think, ask, will their opinion matter in 5 years, or is it just noise? That one question helps filter out 90% of the junk. Mentally strong people refuse to hand over the steering wheel of their life to strangers. They'd rather be disliked for being real than loved for being fake. The fourth thing mentally strong people refuse to do is stay stuck in the past. Look, everybody has regrets. Maybe it's the exam you bombed, the job you didn't take, or the person you lost. And your brain loves to replay those what-if scenarios like a broken record. But here's the thing, replay doesn't equal repair. Reliving the same mistake doesn't change it, it just changes you to it. Psychologists call this rumination, when you cycle the same thoughts over and over. Research shows it actually raises anxiety and depression because your brain is treating the memory like it's still happening. It's like trying to drive forward while staring only in the rearview mirror. You're guaranteed to crash. Mentally strong people take a different route. They treat the past as a teacher, not a prison. The question isn't why did this happen to me, but what can I learn from it so it doesn't happen again? That tiny shift in framing is the difference between carrying baggage and carrying wisdom. Here's a practical hack. If you catch yourself spiraling about the past, set a time limit. Give yourself 10 minutes to reflect, write down the lesson, then close the book. Literally, close the journal, shut the page, move on. The past deserves a chapter, not the whole book. Because at the end of the day, mentally strong people know yesterday is already spent. The only power you have is in the choices you make today. The fifth thing mentally strong people refuse to do is quit just because something is hard. Here's the truth. Hard doesn't mean impossible, it just means valuable. Think about it. If it were easy, everyone would already have it. That's why the gym is packed in January but empty by March. People want results without resistance. Neuroscience even backs this up. When you push through difficulty, your brain releases dopamine not just when you succeed, but when you make progress. Struggle is literally wired into the reward system. It's how growth feels. Mentally strong people see obstacles as part of the path, not signs they're on the wrong one. They don't say, this is too hard, I should quit. They say, this is hard, so it must be worth it. Here's a mindset shift. Instead of asking, how long will this take? Ask, how far can I get if I don't stop? That's the secret. Consistency beats intensity. Showing up even at 60% will always crush quitting at 100%. So the next time you're tempted to throw in the towel, remember, difficulty isn't a stop sign. It's the entrance fee to anything meaningful. Notice how all of these are choices, not superpowers, not luck, not genetics, just daily decisions. And the cool part? Every one of these is available to you starting today. Mental strength isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing the patterns that make you weaker. It's choosing growth over comfort, even in small moments. So here's a challenge. Pick just one of these 5 to practice this week. You don't need to overhaul your whole life. Just start building that muscle. Because over time, those small refusals add up to a life that feels unshakable. And hey, if this gave you value, make sure you stick around for more. On this channel, it's all about simple but powerful ways to level up your life without the fluff.